Have lots of fresh basil and summer squash? Try this deliciously different garden pesto, a fresh and creamy alternative to traditional recipes.
Working on a river. Working on a river. Working on a river. Working on a river.
This is John Korn and his wife, Sandy Gummersheimer, who purchased their farm, Mighty Acorn, in 2009. A retirement project they jumped into early when the right ground became available. Mighty Acorn is in the 4th year of production, and this is the first year the couple has used 100% organic inputs, although they are not certified organic. They're committed to good-tasting, local, healthy food and are steadily growing their customer base at the Columbia Farmers Market while maintaining full-time jobs off the farm. They love exposing those who are unfamiliar with fresh tastes to healthy, flavorful dishes like this summer garden pesto.
We have all our ingredients here for the pesto. Some vegetables you see, onion and a summer squash, basil, a little bit of arugula. We'll use 2 types of nuts. This will be pine nuts and cashews, a little bit of cream, also some garlic chive, goat cheese, olive oil, and tonight we use 3 cloves of garlic. We start with our wettest ingredients first. They go into the blender and then work slowly toward the dry ingredients as the blender loads up. So you'll see as we do this how the blender is going to kind of slow down a little bit.
John adds 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 3 cloves of garlic, then gives the blender a quick pulse. If you're a garlic lover, you might want to add 1 or 2 more cloves. Next, add 3 tablespoons of cream, half and half, or reduced fat milk, creating a creamy mixture. John had roughly cut and pan roasted about 2 cups of onions and summer squash with a bit of water for around 20 minutes. We added that and gave the blender another quick spin. Next, add about 2 tablespoons of goat cheese. In this case, John used a popular locally produced goat cheese flavored with garlic and herbs.
Right now we have a pretty good sauce, even without any of these ingredients in it, especially after the nuts are in. Here's what the pine nuts will look like, just slightly toasted. My opinion is it brings out the flavor more. This is where the majority of the oil comes from for the recipe, is in the nuts and then the 2 tablespoons of olive oil that we added at the very beginning. A chopstick, like I have right here, is pretty indispensable for making sure things don't cavitate. And that's probably one of the frustrating things about pesto is it's not blending. So as we get to this part, you're going to see me poke this a lot with this stick. Be very careful that you poke with the blender off.
After toasting and gradually blending in 1/3 cup each of pine nuts and cashews, John seasons the pesto with a half teaspoon of ground black pepper and a liberal sprinkling of Beaumont seasoning or celery salt.
And at this point now, the last thing to do is the basil and arugula. Okay, there we go.
For the next few minutes, John and Sandy work together to pull the leaves off of about a plant's worth of basil, throwing in a handful of arugula for extra flavor. John is careful to push the leaves down into the creamy mixture before blending, using his beloved chopstick. Once the leaves are completely incorporated, it's time to add 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. Taste and adjust the seasoning as needed. You'll end up with 1/2 to 1 quart of pesto that can last up to a week, but it's unlikely that there will be any leftovers once the pesto hits the pasta.